I started in 1947, and I can still remember the old canvas-backed Comet truck that came round with 3 wooden forms the length of the deck, and we were sort of manhandled up, and it was a far cry from the old school buses and the modern school buses, of course.
What was that like, because obviously you were travelling in the middle of summer when it was dusty, in the middle of winter when it was probably snowing or close to it.
Well, we knew nothing else, I suppose. If we wanted to go to school, away we went. Yeah. And I can just vaguely remember everybody seemed to have a great time, but there were no windows or anything. It was just the back was down to keep some of the dust out, I suppose. And then when I came here, you could have pan round out here. All this grass was swamp. Willow trees, and it was one of the big jobs.
Hang on, we'll just wait for him to stop talking. There we go. Okay, so the school grounds were pretty rough when you first came here, were they?
Well, it was all bog and willows, and the school was just where it is now, but just two rooms, of course. And, the sandpit was the school baths, but it was. I think it was Jeff Duff, the headmaster, who led the charge on the swamp, and the school committee and the farmers, everybody came and working bees and drained it and cleaned out it all. Carted some soil in from up behind the school to level it off, and Jeff Duff put all these trees in, or nearly all these trees, and the main gate was just over here to the opposite Monroe Lane. So it was fun. And then my father was the secretary for many years it seemed, looking back now. And one of the fundraisers with the school had got a new Bell and Howe projector, 16mm I presume, and they organised probably every fortnight for most of the year district films, and that was a fundraiser with these films. My parents would sort out the program, and they had to have a majority of westerns, cowboys and Indians. They were the most popular, it seemed. And they were shown in what was the Tarras Hall, which is part of Linda's Motors, just up the road here. And then I think with the hall was replaced by the new hall that was burnt down in 1968. The films were shown in the school. It was quite an important fundraiser for many years. And I think at that stage too, we started with the school gardens, vegetable gardens. Everybody had their patch, and 2 or 3, normally in pairs, we'd have to look after these, and pretty well everybody had home gardens too. We were given seeds to take home. There was somebody senior would come round and judge the best gardens and the prizes. And looking back now, that was one of the important things, I think, for a lot of the good gardens around here now go back to those days of education.
And it's good to see the kids are now.
Yes, it is. And it's such an important part, a good diet, I think, fresh food.
I know you probably have to get going, but just briefly, do you have a water race through your property?
Yes.
You do. Can we talk about that? What was the water race like back in the early days? You know, I mean, obviously you had racemen and things like that. How did it operate?
Well, we had our little farm was 250 acres, and we had a private water right which watered roughly 100 acres at a higher level, and then we had 100 acres under the Ardgour Irrigation Ministry Works scheme at the time, built in the 1930s, depression labour, and we paid rates for that. It was very successful, and today it's still going. It's kept on, but it's the Lindis the last few years seems to have been pretty dry, and the water is over allocated. But I suppose in those days we farmed round the over-allocation. But,
So this new allocation that they're talking about, if that goes ahead, what will that mean for this district? For at least those farms it gets to.
One thing that really worries me is the huge debt. The debt loading, I think, is unmanageable myself. It frightens me. To make it pay, it'll have to be a complete rethink of the farming practices that are here. But I wonder. I'm pleased I'm not involved, because I've got irrigation on the place we're on now, of course.